Sometimes life hits you with a question so simple, yet so profound it completely changes your direction. For me, that question came from a total stranger, a friendly face in a bustling coffee shop, and it led to one of the most spontaneous decisions I've ever made. I want to share that story with you today because maybe, just maybe, it's the question you need to hear too. It all started on a pretty unremarkable Tuesday. I was buried in work, staring at a screen, scrolling endlessly through emails and spreadsheets, the usual routine. I was feeling stuck, like I was running on a hamster wheel, putting in all this effort but not really going anywhere meaningful. The days were blending into one another, and that spark, that zest for life, was definitely dimming. I decided to take a break and grab a coffee, hoping a change of scenery, even for just 30 minutes, would clear my head. So there I was sitting in this cozy little café, laptop open but mind miles away. An older gentleman at the next table, who had this incredibly kind and serene energy about him, leaned over with a gentle smile. I initially thought he was going to ask for the Wi-Fi password or comment on the weather, but he didn't. He looked at me, then at my screen, and then back at me, and he asked, "If you could be anywhere in the world right now, doing anything you wanted, with no strings attached, where would you be and what would you be doing?" I was a bit taken aback. It wasn't a question I expected from a stranger. I probably mumbled something generic at first, like, "Oh, on a beach somewhere, I guess." But he didn't let me off that easily. He gently prodded, "No, really think about it. Not just a vacation. Where does your soul want to be? What would make you feel truly alive?" And that's when it hit me. I closed my laptop. The question wasn't just small talk. It was a genuine invitation to dream. My mind didn't go to a generic beach. It went to a specific place I'd been obsessed with for years, a place I had countless photos of saved on my computer, a place I always said I'd visit someday, the mountains of Peru. I'd pictured myself hiking the Inca Trail, seeing Machu Picchu at sunrise, feeling the crisp mountain air, and being completely disconnected from the digital noise that was consuming my life. I described this to him, the passion and excitement building in my voice, things I hadn't felt in months. He listened patiently, nodding along. When I finished my rambling, almost breathless description, he just smiled again and said, "That sounds wonderful. So what's stopping you?" And that was it. That was the second part of the gut punch. What's stopping you? I started listing all the usual excuses: work, money, timing, responsibilities. The classic, "I can't just up and leave" argument we all tell ourselves. He didn't argue with any of my points. He just listened, and when I ran out of excuses, he simply said, "Those things will always be there. Work will be there when you get back. Money can be managed. But the time to feel alive? That's not guaranteed. Someday is a dangerous word. It's where dreams go to die." He then wished me a good day, got up, and left the cafe. I never saw him again. I don't even know his name. I sat there for another hour, his words echoing in my head. What's stopping you? I looked at my long list of perfectly valid, responsible, adult reasons. And then I looked at the single, powerful reason to go, my own happiness, my own sense of adventure. The deep, nagging feeling that I was letting my life pass me by. The fear of waking up in 10 years in the exact same spot, wondering what could have been. And in that moment, something inside me just snapped. The fear of staying the same became greater than the fear of the unknown. The excuses that seemed like massive, unmovable mountains just a moment before suddenly looked like small, manageable hills. I opened my laptop again. But this time I didn't open my email. I opened a flight booking website. I found a flight to Cusco, Peru. My heart was pounding. My logical brain was screaming at me, calling me reckless and irresponsible. But another part of me, a part that had been silent for way too long, was cheering. It was a feeling of pure, unadulterated freedom. I looked at the dates, I looked at my bank account, and I took a deep breath. With my hands shaking just a little, I clicked Confirm Purchase, and just like that I booked the ticket, a one-way ticket. I had no solid plan, no tour booked, no accommodations sorted past the first few nights. All I had was a destination and a powerful sense of purpose. It was the most terrifying and exhilarating thing I had ever done. Walking out of that coffee shop, the world looked different. The colors seemed brighter, the air felt fresher. I wasn't just the person who was stuck behind a desk anymore. I was the person who was going to Peru. I was the person who chose adventure over routine. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of telling my boss I needed a sabbatical, subletting my apartment, and packing a single backpack. There were moments of panic, of course. What am I doing? Became a frequent late-night thought. But every time doubt crept in, I remembered that strangers' simple, powerful questions. Where would you be? And what's stopping you? That trip to Peru changed my life. It wasn't just about seeing Machu Picchu, which was as breathtaking as I'd imagined. It was about proving to myself that I could break free from the script I thought I had to follow. It was about meeting incredible people, pushing my physical and mental limits, and learning to be comfortable with uncertainty. It was about rediscovering the person I was before the world told me who I should be. I came back a different person. I didn't quit my job and become a nomad. That wasn't the point. The point was that I learned I had a choice. I learned that someday can be today if you be brave enough to make it happen. That experience infused my daily life with a new perspective. I'm more present, more willing to take calculated risks, and less afraid of veering off the well-trodden path. So I want to pass that stranger's gift on to you. I'll ask you the same thing he asked me. Right now, in this moment, if you could be anywhere, doing anything, what would it be? Really think about it, picture it in vivid detail, feel it, and then ask yourself the most important follow-up question. What's really stopping you? I am not saying you should go and book a one-way ticket to the other side of the world tomorrow, but I am inviting you to challenge your own excuses. Sometimes, the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is one brave decision. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, I'd love it if you hit that like button and subscribe for more content about living a more intentional and adventurous life. And please share in the comments below, where would you go? I can't wait to read about your dreams. See you in the next video.